today I want to do all the books I read in 2025 because August is slipping away. We are in the end of the August. This is like August 26th, and I haven't read the amount of books I normally would read because this year was challenging. When I mean challenging, it was stressful, it was academically challenging, it was emotionally challenging.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
This year was a lot of ups and downs, mostly downs. Like, it was such a traumatic, devastating, ugly year. But then again, I have learned so much, so I decided I want to do. Before I show you the books I read just like 5 books till now. And it's not impressive, and it's not bad too. I want to say that it's not bad. So yeah, I got this book from this place like where you'll get a box worth of 1,999 or 2,999, and you can fill that box with books. That's how I got these books. So in most of those kind of sales where it's nearby my house, I never find the mainstream authors. I never find the ones in the book talk, and I'm kind of glad because I want to read more underrated authors. I want to read different kinds of books. I want to be in different types of genres. I want to explore different types of authors and everything. So you might be like, some when you see some of these books, you're gonna be like, wait, that's popular. What are you talking about? I generally haven't heard about two of these authors. The others I have. Okay, so last year also I read a couple of underrated books and I really loved it. I'll share it sometime else. And why am I not interested in book talk books, you might ask? Because I read them. I spent most of my goddamn teens reading these book talk books, and I read so many embarrassing things I shouldn't have read, things the books shouldn't have been handed to me, kind of ugly books. I've read the infamous Colin Hoover, and I'm not proud to talk about that. I don't know who decided to sell that to me. I was like in my teenage, and that book was bad. And then I also read a lot of other good books also, like The Good Girl's Guide to Murder. That series I have read. Anyways, let's get into the thing we started over here. So the first book, I'm just gonna start with the size of the books. Like it goes increase, not by the width, I mean size increases. So this is Lisa Gardner's The Next Accident. Some of you might know this book. I personally did not. I personally did not know this book. So this is Lisa Gardner's The Next Accident, author of The Third Victim. The thing is that I've read two of her books. This is The Killing Hour, Lisa Gardner. I picked up these books just by reading from the back. Okay, I didn't knew these books were a series of something. Apparently, this is a series following this character called, I'm gonna butcher the name. I'm gonna kill this name when I pronounce this. Pierce Quincy. You're gonna be like, she this bad at pronunciation? I am really bad at pronunciation. But I've read a lot of books, please believe me. So this is a book series which follows this agent called Pierce Quincy. So yeah, and then the series follows up by following his daughter Kimberly. So the thing was that I knew when I read this book that this one comes before it. Only after I read that and I went to my TBR bookshelf, I have a lot of books in my TBR bookshelf, more than 20 mostly. I'll show it to you one day. And I looked at, wait, this is the same author. And then I read the back thing and realized this book, this book is kind of the one which comes after this series. So there are like probably some books in front of this and behind this also. I should find it someday. So the first book which I read was obviously The Killing Hour. So basically this book is quite interesting. We have a serial killer who kills in two. Each time when he does, he kills two girls and then he leaves one in a place where it's very easy to find, and the second one in a place where it's very hard to find. Like, and one of them is left alive and left to die in this place, which is like very dangerous. And the book keeps you, like, when you start reading, you can't stop reading it. That's what I felt. Because when I got past like 50, the page number 50, I couldn't stop reading this book. Before, back in the old good days, I used to finish a book in like 2 or 1 day or 3 or 4 days. But now, I don't. But then again, this took surprisingly very less time to finish. I was so surprised to know that I finished this book so fast. And to say that it was delightful because you had this character who's like this fierce girl named Kimberly Quincy. Nice character, and then you see a very hard, like a very complicated relationship she has with her dad, and then there is also a romantic interest kind of guy introduced, and it's nice. I mean, it's a good summer's read if you really love, I mean, like thriller books. This is one you can worth to try because I never heard about this author before. I don't know who this is, and I was completely impressed. I will give this book a solid 3.5 out of 5. I don't know how to rate books at this point. Okay, so the next book, actually this book I should have read before the other one, but I did not. So this book is Lisa Gardner, The Next Accident. So basically what happens is that we have the guy, right, the Kimberly Quincy's father, Pierce Quincy. His elder daughter dies, and this guy is like working in the FBI. He's an agent. His elder daughter dies, and what happens is that he's hunted by the death. He feels like something is wrong. The elder daughter was kind of like an alcoholic, but still he feels like something is wrong. And when he gets into this case, investigates it, that's when he finds that like everything feels off. And then he introduces his romantic interest, a partner, and she's like a private investigator. And these people obviously has some history which I'm not aware of because I didn't read the books in front. But then again, without reading the books in front in the series, I was able to follow this book up very well. Even this too. Like it was detailed, like it explained the complicated relationship again, and you know the problems they had in like without making it feel boring. Like there were like small summaries given which were incorporated into the story without making it boring, and I genuinely enjoyed this book, but not as much as this one though, because I could see a lot of this coming. I genuinely could see a lot of this coming. A lot of this I couldn't see that coming. I couldn't genuinely see that coming. But this I could see it coming. So over here, his daughter also I mean like his daughter dies, and then his wife also dies. So this guy is going to investigate to prevent the next accident, which might be his other daughters, the remaining daughter, which is Kimberly Quincy's death. So it's a nice book. I would
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
So that's it for today, I guess. I'm also reading a lot of books right now. I'm actually reading four books right now, four or five, I don't remember. First book is this Ben Elton Popcorn. I have never heard about this book anywhere. If you have, I'm impressed, very impressed actually, because I never heard. I feel like he's popular because I've seen a lot of his books around, but I never heard about him. I've just seen these books in bookstores. The next book is Can't Hurt Me. So if I finish reading this is going to be my first self-help or motivation kind of books I've never read such